The road trip, something so uniquely American. With our open spaces and grand ideas, like we can somehow reach the horizon and look out at a new world. Every summer, the highways of America flow with travelers from east and west, from the Mississippi River Valley to the extensive ranches of eastern Texas, the gambling destinations of northern Nevada to the cloud-covered skyscrapers of Omaha, Nebraska. Midwestern interstates and stark flatlands open up to the towering peaks of the Great Divide. Such is the road trip, a journey along the arteries of a country that literally leads anywhere and everywhere. Frank Hansen is preparing for an extensive summer drive of his own, but there's a strange aspect of off-road to this road trip.
Well, I'm going to embark on a 2,700 mile ATV ride departing on the 18th of July from this spot, and I'm going to go all the way to eastern South Dakota. If you take a look at the machine, you can see that it has modified wheels on it. It doesn't have knobby tires. It actually has regular street tires on it. So that means that the majority of my trip is going to be spent on the hard surface, highways and secondary roads. The machine's licensed to drive on the highways, so that's where I'm going to be spending most of my time.
We're used to seeing four-wheeled vehicles on the highway, but four-wheelers on the highway? The image isn't a common one. In fact, it looks extremely out of place. Though it seems radical, Frank's off-highway, on-highway motives are far more normal than his choice of vehicle implies.
Well, I'm actually going back for a wedding. And I thought, well, how do I want to get there? And I thought, I've wanted to take a fairly lengthy ATV ride, so I thought, here's an opportunity. The machine's licensed for highway use. Why don't I just make a nice long trip of it? So that's what I'm going to do. In order to legally drive on secondary roads or state highway roads, the machine has to be licensed just like a motorcycle does. It has to have blinkers, horns, mirrors. It has to be insured just like an automobile is insured. You still have to take an ATV driver's test as well, both written and practical. All in all, the process was pretty simple, and you just got to cross the T's and dot the I's, and it's a good thing.
Frank's trip will cover about 2,700 miles round trip through 3 states, setting out just off U.S. Route 40 outside Park City, Utah on July 18th. Legally, he must travel the speed limit on the secondary roads, but if they allow for speeds higher than 45 miles an hour, Frank is obligated to drive no faster than that. Even so, some days he will be covering over 320 miles from the saddle of his ATV. As a branch manager at a building material distributor, Frank faced the same obstacles to undertaking such an ambitious trek as anyone else would. What route to take, how to stay safe, and getting time off from work were just a few of them. His success won't depend on how or from where he started the journey, but in covering his bases before he even set out.
You have to do a lot of planning. It's not just about where you want to go, but all the safety issues that really are involved there. If I have a breakdown, other than a catastrophic breakdown, I can repair it on the spot. I have tools, I have repair parts, so really it's just a lot of detailed planning. That'll get you there and back.
He also has a detailed list of ATV dealers and service shops along the way, just in case. Over the next 2 months, hundreds of thousands of people will set out on road trips from every corner of the country. Their destinations may vary, but their experiences are all very similar, except for Frank Hansen. His trip will undoubtedly be one of a kind. Such an experience calls for a sequel, and who knows, maybe if this 2,700-mile Discovering America tour is a success, there could be more in the future.
That depends upon the wife. She's very supportive in me doing this, and she's excited about it, but I'm not so sure she'd go for it again. What I'm going to get out of this is just an opportunity to do something that I'll probably never get a chance to do again. This really isn't that long of a trip if you look at it. The Guinness Book of World Records is 16,400 miles, so this is just a walk in the park. But for me, it's just the adventure. Really, it's something that I've never done before, and I think it'll be a once-in-a-lifetime deal.
From the off-highway, on-highway road trip, I'm Bob Welti.